All right. Hi, guys. I'm going to wait until I think I play a commercial in the beginning. So hang on. Give me a 5x5 if you guys can hear me. Um, don't know yet. I'm looking at my screen. It says I'm live here. Here come the commercials. Everybody who gives me a hard time about commercials, by the way, you got to pay for the lights to stay on. Yeah, I don't mind doing commercials. Again, I'm a capitalist, not a socialist. Everybody keep that in mind. We're live. Excellent. I'm glad everybody can make it today. I know things are very crazy right now. But I want to do a lot of Q&A if you guys have questions. I don't know what's going on with my lighting, but as you can tell, I haven't had a haircut in God knows how long. Look at that. Amy wants to keep growing it out. She does all my hair cutting. She does everything for me except the morning horn of disease because she can't get up early enough, right? But I want to make sure. Oh man, I didn't. Hold on one second, my friends. I think I'm back. Are we back? All right. Yeah, I had a little technical difficulty this morning getting the lighting right, which it still isn't right. Getting everything right. But hey, we've been gone for a week, so what do? I need a haircut and I need to get my cheek together. Boy, it's crazy out there right now. This is the end of year zero. Raise your hand if you think this has been the craziest year yet. Did Cliff High get it right back in September 2019 when he addressed the Road to Ruta crowd in Las Vegas and said, get ready. It's all going to change from here on out. Year zero, he said. And I was joking with him. I said, yeah, are we going to survive it? He says, to be determined. I think we're at that to be determined stage. So hang on tight. I will get to a lot of your questions. JJU22 just said, hey, Bix, thanks to your shilling, I just set up a Theta Guardian node. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, anybody who's dug into what Theta is and what it can be in the future comes back just shaking their head saying, oh my God, this is crazy. How come nobody knows about it? Well, obviously more and more people know about it. Once it hits Coinbase, that's going to be kind of, you got a pool of rocket fuel lying on the ground right now. It hits Coinbase and the rocket goes off, shoots way past the moon. I did an analysis this morning for on the horn disease, and I'm like, okay, I got my math wrong when I was saying 120,000 Theta. I said, oh, that's an $8,000. No, it was like 80,000. Anyway, it came out with the same result. After 5 years, in the neighborhood of $12 million, but after 7 years in the neighborhood, wait, what was it? After 3 years in the neighborhood of $12 million. After 5 years in the neighborhood of 130 million. It's crazy. The numbers get crazy when you run the numbers. If Michelle White Dove is correct and our analysis is correct, that yes, this is absolutely necessary. We have to expand broadband for all of humanity. We're running out of room. Everybody's saying it on the technical side. Now, the solutions range from corporations have to spend trillions and trillions of dollars at a loss just to fall behind, or the governments have to step in and spend trillions and trillions of dollars to expand broadband, neither of which is really feasible. And the invention of broadband sharing and the protocol economic justification of that. It's amazing that the Theta network is really funded by itself and it will be free to the world. That's the amazing thing for the most part. So I don't know how many times I can scream it from the rooftops. If you're into cryptocurrencies, Theta's your call. If you're into technology, investing in like Apple and Google and Netflix and all that, Theta's your call again. All that money will be come flooding into Theta because those companies are going to have to use Theta as well as their CDNs, their content delivery networks. So Theta. As far as silver, I mean, it's been ready to explode for 20 years. There won't be warning. It'll just happen. And it'll happen by the COMEX shutting down. You got to keep that in mind. As we head into this time of craziness, um, especially the world's fiat, first time in history that there has been a unbacked world fiat currency, a global world currency. Gold might have been considered it, but it wasn't fiat and unbacked. Gold is gold. But the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, when the government is about to fall apart literally in a matter of days, no matter who wins, the other side's not going to accept it. I mean, talk about a ripe atmosphere for the banking collapse and the collapse of the US dollar and all fiat money. There will never be in the history of the world another unbacked fiat global world reserve currency. Just won't happen. It was stupid to start with. We all understand how it happened, how we got here through the computer market manipulation of every market. All markets are rigged right now. The key now, get your assets, make sure they're real assets, take them to the sidelines. You don't want to be halfway through a transaction when the banks collapse, because everybody's going to lose everything in that banking system at that moment in time. It includes the crypto exchanges. All the crypto exchanges, Coinbase will not be around if the banks collapse. Remember, they have half a foot in the old system and half a foot in the new system. When one of those feet get chopped off, that company's belly up bankrupt. So hang on tight to your cryptos. We are headed into the time of craziness. How will it all go down? Nobody really knows. Those people touting the all the different Nesra, Jesra, it's just not going to work. There can't be any deciders. We're moving into a time of absolute insanity. So, yeah. Oh, you like the beard? Thank you. It goes with the hairdo, right? No haircut, no shaving. Yeah. All right. What I want to do today is first get that out, get that off my chest, and really make sure people know about the ability to get Theta now. They've dropped the minimum Guardian node staking to 1,000 tokens, which is $670 right now. So you can stake at on the road to root. I teach you how to buy, how to store, and how to stake it on the private road. It's not really complicated if you go step by step and don't get scared away. Join the private road. It's worth it. I'll send you 25 Theta fuel. Enough for the commercial. I want to talk about what is on your mind. Daryl Jones, AOC is hot. I've seen that a million times. That means you're kind of getting in the spammy mode. Careful with that or they'll boot you off. I have a lot of monitors in the chat, and we want to keep it so that everybody gets their questions in. All right? Do I think AOC is hot? Is that the question? Here's my take on hotness and not hotness. When you get to know a person, that's when you really decide. Doesn't matter what they look like when you start. Their looks will change as soon as you know them. Right now, she is the most ugly person, I think, on the planet. So I disagree. AOC is not hot. All right, enough of that. Now, let's talk about questions, Q&A. What do you guys want to know? I won't be able to read them all. If you give me a little super chat, I'll jump on those first. This is not begging for money. I don't care how much you put in the super chat, but that's the only way the questions, as you can see, fly by. So right now, everybody's talking about AOC is hot. Jesus. California Public Service. Now, living in California, Amy and I just spent a little time in Arizona. Much better. We ate inside, things like that. For the most part, they still have rules, but not many rules. They don't really believe in following government dictates. California is in the grips of a tyrannical government, a tyrannical health agency, a tyrannical everything. They know they have to destroy the economy or they are screwed. That's what this is all about. Destroy the middleman, destroy mid-sized businesses, institute socialism. That is the plan. It's got nothing to do with your health. It's got nothing to do with your wellness. It's got to do with destroying the old system. They know they're so deeply in debt that California pensions can never, ever, ever, ever be paid. Their only hope is to destroy the system. And that's what this is all about. try to get their Democratic bought and paid for politicians in there. A lot of Californians are waking up, but the left is completely left. I mean, the left has left the planet. So it's going to get ugly. And that's what I have to say about that. All right. What have you got to say? Any questions? Moonshot for Theta, question mark, when? I would say when it gets added to Coinbase, the whole world will know about it. And that's when people stop selling. So people don't understand about these exchanges is, yes, a cryptocurrency or anything, silver, for example, can go from $25 to $600 in 1 ounce sale. As soon as something comes out, some reasoning for buying, everybody who had their sell offers down originally are going to pull them back, and those will just stop. I think that's what's going to happen to Theta. The vast majority, I'd say 95% of all the Theta sales right now is coming out of Binance. Binance had a hell of a lot of Theta in the beginning. They are working with Theta to control the release of Theta. I don't know if it's good or bad. Binance looks to steal money any way they can. So if you look at all the simple swaps and all those swaps, all those Theta tokens are coming from Binance addresses. Binance holds the majority. Everybody else is staking, which is at 54% right now. It's huge. 54% of all the Theta that will ever be made, which is 1 billion Theta, 54% are currently staked. I don't see them going unstaked for a long time. That number will continue to increase. When it hits Coinbase, who knows what the price will be, but I expect that number to go to 90% staked, 95% staked. And as that price gets really high, people will finally start to sell Theta for something else, like Theta Fuel if the ratio is off, which I think it is right now. Just might take a little longer for Theta Fuel. So yeah, Simple Swap was out of Theta. But remember, they got all their Theta from Binance. Everybody got their Theta from Binance. Yesterday, Binance stopped withdrawals on Theta because everybody's like, oh my God, we've run out. No, they stopped because of the software upgrade that was going on. And it was a smart move. You don't want to play around with a blockchain when the upgrade hasn't been initiated and all the bugs haven't been worked out. I think it went as smoothly. Most people didn't even notice it. Now, some people tried to stake and found out that they couldn't stake, but that's only because they had their wallet open before the upgrade was added to the block. It got added Pacific time about 12:50 or so. So all they got to do is shut down their Theta wallet, start it up again, and then you can stake up to a minimum of 1,000 Theta. So there you go. Hey, Jeff Merriman. Good friend of Road to Rutas. Jeff is on the road, I hear, and he gave me a super chat. Is it better to add to Theta Stake or have a second account? Great question. I get that question all the time. The Theta Fuel is earned by the amount of Theta that you stake. So you could have 100,000 on one wallet or 10,000 on 10 wallets. You're going to earn the same amount of Theta Fuel. So it does not matter if you have a second account, a third account, you're going to earn the same amount. It all depends on the amount of Theta you have staked compared to everybody else. And y'all split the pot on Theta Fuel that is given out as rewards for staking. So excellent question. I've been getting a lot of that question. Jeff, keep your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. Keep traveling. Traveling is great these days. A lot of boondockers, which is guys in vans running around out there. Bravo. I hear my good friend Will Lair has got himself a trailer that they're going to be hitting the road, and we're going to catch up with them somewhere very soon in the new year. Road to Ruta wants to get out there too. The whole world is jumping in their cars. I do expect real estate values to plummet. Have already started to plummet in the big cities. San Francisco, good luck. Ridiculous. Nobody will go back to work in San Francisco. And you can blame your politicians and the liberal left and those who control the liberal left, like George Soros, Black Lives Matter, Antifa. Blame those guys for the destruction of your life. Fight for the resurgence of America is what I say. All right. Okay, let's see. Lamplighter says, so is 10,000 Theta automatically become 10 Guardian nodes on Gpool? No. 10,000 Theta was just the minimum to start a Guardian node before the upgrade. You could have been 10,001, 10,050 on one node. Now the minimum is 1,000. So it doesn't on Gpool, you're just using the Guardian node summary. So they're running running the computer node for that specific node, and then they're just sharing the summary. So everybody's piling onto that Guardian node that they're running. Now they have it in 7 different countries. It's up 100% of the time for the most part, except for upgrades. So yes, I highly recommend using Gpool unless you want to run it yourself. There's no difference because the Theta never leaves your wallet. All it is for staking, the Theta is locked up on your wallet. It doesn't go to Gpool. They don't have any control over it. All you're doing is using their Guardian node summary, the summary thing that is needed. When you hit stake, it'll ask you for the summary. That's what you get from Gpool. Hope that makes sense. I know I'll get those questions 500 times. Victoria, thank you for the super chat. Any offline wallets support Theta? It's interesting, like think Trezor or the Ledger wallets. Although those wallets don't support Theta, Theta has built a bridge to those wallets. So the Theta team, knowing, and the reason that Ledger and Trezor didn't want to support Theta was because it had the same wallet making SHA-256 algorithm that made the wallet. So they were afraid that people would get confused and send ETH to Theta and Theta to ETH, and that's happening all the time. So make sure when you send your Theta, you're using, there's pros and cons for using that. The biggest pro, which I think is brilliant, is that they can use smart contracts and piggyback, and anybody programming on Ethereum can easily port over to Theta. So, but yes, for like at Trezor, I hold my Theta on Trezor. All you have to do is go to thetatoken.org. The wallet is up on the top right. You click on the wallet. It'll show you your different options. You can open it up with mnemonic, which is like the 24 words or 12 words. I'm not sure how many it is. Private key or hardware wallet, which is on the far right. And you click on that. It says, okay, would you like to port to a Trezor wallet or a Ledger wallet? And then it walks you through. It's pretty easy to do. I have instructions on the Theta page. I did a video on the Trezor wallet. And it's easy. But it does take it's a little scary at times, but because Trezor and Ledger don't actually support the Theta token, but the Theta team does, and they'll walk you through it, and they do walk you through it when you click on wallet and then the hardware. All right. Another Patrick Glepke. Thank you for the 5 CHFs. What is a CHF? I know it's some kind of currency. Is that Chinese? No. I don't know what a CHF is. I'm like blanking. Is that Swedish? Come on, somebody in the chat, tell me. Swiss franc. Ah, there you go. I came close. Swedish, Swiss franc. I thought they were on the euro. Are they using both? I don't know. You never know with Europe. I'm afraid for Europe just like I'm afraid for my country. But fight. You guys need to fight just like, and I know you are. I've seen the Germans get out there, and the French are getting out there. Americans, did you guys see the Trump rally last weekend? The news didn't cover it. There's tens of thousands of Trump people marching on Washington. I think it was awesome. So yeah, it's crazy these days, but we were warned. This was year 0, and we're in the middle of it now. We're in the fight of our lives. Now, who do I think will win? Ultimately, freedom and liberty will win. Will we have a president? I don't know. I have no idea. If we do either one, a lot of people will be not accepting of that. We know the socialists want to tear down the country, so they're all happy if they don't care about Biden anymore. Biden got them to where they are now, which is the potential overthrow of our way of governing. And that's what the socialists want. They want the breakdown of society. So Biden was just a useful idiot, and they don't really care about him anymore. That's why CNN's publishing stories about Hunter Biden getting busted by the IRS and all that. They don't care anymore. They want the chaos. And chaos in their world means authoritarian takeover by the state, socialism, more money printing. As an individual, what can you do? You can fight that, but you can also invest in hard assets in your own control. Hard assets, I mean assets without a third party attached to it. Obviously, gold and silver are hard assets in that textual context. Cryptos can be hard assets. Not if you hold them at an exchange, but if you hold them in your own possession and you're the only one who has access to the private keys. That would be a hard asset in your own possession because it's just you that is in charge of that asset. Nobody else. So, Diego says, Bix, 2 questions. Can you run 2 edge nodes on the same computer? Can you run 2 or more edge nodes on different computers using the same wallet address? I don't know. I tried to run 2 edge nodes on one computer, and it didn't work, mainly because I don't think the computer was strong enough. So maybe if you're a computer programmer, you can do that. Edge nodes basically is what Theta uses to share the broadband. That's the patented Intel. The technology that has a patent on it, anybody who downloads it can earn Theta fuel. Now, there is some twist to that right now, as it's just starting up. You can't remove the Theta fuel from the wallet and take it out and sell it yet. That'll happen, but they're trying to build that infrastructure first. It's not a lot, so you wouldn't do it anyway, but at the same time, just keep that in mind. So I don't know. If you're a computer techie guy, you could probably do it. I couldn't. But my computer wouldn't handle it anyway. It slowed things down too much. All right. Victoria, thank you for the question. What do you think about XRP flare fork happening tomorrow? XRP is not a banker coin, although I've said it's a banker coin too. It's a coin that was invented by a couple of the deep state bankers, and they tout it as a banker coin as a replacement of Swift, but the bankers aren't on board. Some are, who are dumber. It's the biggest idiot theory. It was completely a security, but it passed the regulators because the deep state regulators were in at the SEC. What do I think of whatever they're doing? I think everybody will sell XRP starting tomorrow. The flare drop happens. I think that'll be a dud, and I think everybody will sell out there, and you'll have a big swoon in XRP bought up by the deep state. So I think Theta will continue, but only because the deep state is in there and they have a lot of money and have a lot of Bitcoin as they run Binance and Bitfinex and Tether. I mean, I'm sure Tether will create more Tether and buy up XRP so it doesn't fail the day after tomorrow. So that's my take, and I do believe there is a morality in investing. It's been proven to me my whole life, and I've had opportunities to do very immoral things and make a hell of a lot of money, and I chose not to, and ultimately it was a great choice not to do that. So, but hey, everybody's got their own way of thinking, and even the psychics are saying, "Oh yeah, you can buy XRP." I don't know. To me, it might be a lesson from the spiritual world that, hey, be careful out there and know what you're investing in. But I don't know. I don't know. There's just so many other opportunities besides something like XRP to put your money in. So that's what I think. I don't care what happens to XRP. It'll probably go up until it crashes. I know it won't survive a banking crash. Whereas things like Theta, Bitcoin, Litecoin, those will survive the banking crash. Remember, XRP is their attempt to replace the SWIFT system. I mean, the XRP is fighting against the Federal Reserve System, the BIS. People just don't get it. They just see it going up and haven't analyzed who's behind it, who did it, and who holds the most. Ripple Corporation holds the vast majority of that. If you want 2 criminal bankers knee deep in, the deep state of cryptos, the crypto cabal, you want them to be the richest people on the planet, yeah, invest in XRP. That's my take. You asked. All right. Patrick, thank you. Would you sell silver for Theta if you already have over 50,000 Theta tokens staked? Is 50,000 enough Theta? I don't know. It depends how you live. If Michelle White Dove is correct, your 50,000 and it goes to $1,000, your 50,000 will turn into 50 million. So is 50 million enough for you? if Michelle White Dove's long-term predictions are correct. I think she's somewhere around 5 years. But if you don't have any silver and all you have is cryptos, yeah, I would. I'm not saying what ratio these days, who knows? But whatever you're comfortable with, definitely you want to have some physical silver in your own possession. That's my take, at least. All right. Tom, clapping hands. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Bix, how come you don't talk more about Digibyte? I like Digibyte, but it's not the best cryptocurrency out there. That's my take on it. I would rather have, obviously, Theta, and I'd rather have Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash above Digibyte. It's no diss on Digibyte, but I don't think it will do as well as any of those three. But yeah, Vic still doesn't understand XRP. So sad, dude. I did all my research on XRP in the early days. I know who the founders are. I know who they're connected to. I don't know what you don't understand about my misunderstanding. But hey, whatever. Reality bites? No, bath. Yeah, whatever. Hey, but hey, in cryptocurrencies, everybody's got their favorites. There's tribes. Cliff called them 2 tribes, I think. There's tribes within cryptocurrencies. Not all cryptocurrencies are going to survive. Some are good and will be taken out by the deep state. Look at Veritasium. Great solution to the COMEX and U.S. stock market problem of rehypothecating assets, and they took Reggie out. Completely uncalled for, unjustified. So, yeah. Crazy. Okay, let's see. Clint, what's up? Clint Westwood says Litecoin to $4,000 per coin. Well, if the banks collapse, absolutely. Litecoin is the right coin as a means of exchange. That's all Litecoin's waiting for, is the collapsing banking system. And then people say, oh my God, what will we use for money? And every government tries to create their own cryptocurrencies. None of them want to give up control. None of them will be decentralized. None of them will have limited amounts of coins. That's when Litecoin will really shine. So 4,000, yeah, at a minimum. Hi, Clint. How are you, bud? All right. Richard H., have they stopped allowing Theta Guardian nodes? No. They just did an upgrade to decrease the amount of Theta you need from 10,000 to 1,000. So, yeah, the nodes are exploding right now, which is great. I think it's over 1,500 nodes on its way to unknown. Benji says, how safe is the Theta mainnet wallet? If created correctly, it's very safe. Most of the problems with wallets aren't with the wallets. They happen on a user basis. It's the user didn't create the wallet properly. Saved passwords on his, save your seed phrases and your mnemonics on your computer, and your computer gets hacked and somebody steals them. Nobody knows right now how many little bugs you have in your computer, or if Bill Gates embedded something to steal every crypto password you have. Everything has to be created offline. That's when they show you your seed phrase and said it's going to be deleted. This isn't stored on your computer. Write it down and keep it separate from your computer. So that's where most of the issues happen. MW says, novice question, when you spoke about generational wealth with Theta, how exactly do we use Theta as physical money, or do we have the wrong concept about that? Theta isn't physical money. Theta fuel will be, people will have the ability to earn Theta fuel, trade Theta fuel, just by downloading the edge node on their computer. How will it be used as money? The same way that the U.S. dollar is used as money. The U.S. dollar is pretty much electronic anyway. You can transfer money to and from your account or to different people through a bank, but in the future, it will not be through a bank. So I can send you Theta Fuel right now and not go through a bank. That's how it'll be used as money. Give me your wallet, your phone, your Theta wallet on your phone. I'll scan the code and send you Theta. It'll happen instantly with 0.000001 theta fuel needed for that, which is, and theta fuel is only a penny or 1.2 pennies. Very easy to use cryptocurrencies as money. All right, let's see. Any questions on? Somebody asked about the Jim Willie interview that Litecoin Lisa did, where he's trying to call me out on there's no gold in the Grand Canyon. I usually let it go. I love all my old gold bug friends, and they're all on real hard times. Even though gold's up, most of them put it in mining stocks and things like that. And I don't have a problem with Jim Willie. I just thought I needed to address it because he called all the Road to Ruta followers knuckleheads, and he doesn't understand anything about secret gold in the Grand Canyon or Chocolate Mountain or anywhere else. And I offered to debate him on that issue if he chooses. I would feel bad for him, truthfully. I did 2 years of research into the gold in the Grand Canyon, hundreds of articles on my website of proof, sworn testimony. I've been there. I've seen the barge they brought in. What else do you need to know? His evidence was he knew a guy who in his 20s who used to sleep on those banks and there's no gold there. Come on, dude. Anyway, but I don't have a problem with him. I just, people were asking me to comment because he attacked Road to Ruta people. And of course I'm going to protect my people all the time. Got your back, guys. Just like you guys do in the chat rooms. I take a lot of shit in the chat rooms. Chat rooms are ridiculous. And I got a lot of Road to Ruta people out there fighting for me in the chat rooms. Bravo to you. I actually shut down the chat room for a while. And then I had a lot of guys say, don't shut it down. I'll get in there and fight for you. I said, cool. That sounds good. All right. Greg Douglas, what will it take to trigger silver getting the market value, stopping manipulation? Always just seem short and slam it down every time we close. Yes, the price of silver's been rigged for about 170 years. So what will it take? It will take somebody flipping a switch. And I think it will be done very soon on the comics. If it's, as soon as it's done, we're looking at $600 silver, but you won't be able to buy it anywhere. That's a problem with when you flip that switch and you stop rigging the gold and silver markets, that destroys every bank. The derivative market implodes mainly because the banks are the shorts. The banks right now are 350 million ounces of silver short on the COMEX. For every dollar that silver goes up, the banks lose $350 million. That's the big problem. And that's why it's the bank killer, is that, say, a $10 move in silver is $3.5 billion they lose. Now they can cover that up to some extent, but how about a $100 move? $35 billion. That's real money when you're talking about maybe a tiny handful of banks. Some of those are HSBC, Deutsche Bank, Bank of America. BlackRock is in there now, and a company called, used to be called EWT LLC. Now it's called Virtu Financial, which runs all the computer rigging programs for the Exchange Stabilization Fund. So it is a big deal. And silver will be manipulated all the way till they're ready to let the old system crash and we start a new system, which a lot of people are saying could be any day now. So hang on tight. We'll see. We'll find out. Definitely want to have as much silver in your pocket at the moment it takes off, because you won't see it on the COMEX. The COMEX will shut down due to technical reasons, and we know what those reasons are. By the way, the head of the CFTC, the regulator, just quit. The regulator for the COMEX just quit. So there will be no regulator come, January, I think he gave his notice. All right. Lisa Lyons says, setting up my Jenny Moonstone session for my birthday this Monday. You're lucky. Jenny is awesome. Our schedules have conflicted every time. There's something in the universe saying, nope, not time yet, not time yet. But we're going to try to get together this weekend. I will post it on the private road as soon as I get that discussion. Lots to talk about, including silver, gold, Theta. She's actually a fan of Theta, but hates most cryptos because of she knows the crypto cabal is in there. The deep state is in there. So, yeah. RS says, how do we secure our Coinbase accounts? It's very easy. Take your cryptos off of Coinbase. Not your keys, not your coins. You need to remember that. If you don't have the keys to your cryptocurrencies, you got nothing. You got a promise. And a promise from someone who really doesn't have control of whether they can give you your cryptos ever again. So just be careful. Not your keys, not your cryptos. Remember that. Keep singing that. Just like silver. If you don't have possession of your silver, it's not your silver. I don't care how much you trust the person holding it. It's not your silver. All right. Mike Stroh says silver kills COVID. It does. There's a good argument for using silver as money again. Silver does kill COVID. That's a fact. Try it. Well, if you can get some COVID. I highly suggest people start chugging colloidal silver if they think they have COVID, amongst other things. Obviously, vitamin D. When you go for to check and see if you got COVID, they should check your vitamin D levels, which is much more important than whether you have COVID. It's like 99.9999999% of the people who are high on vitamin D don't die from COVID. Don't even struggle with COVID. Get your vitamin D levels up. Where do you get your vitamin D? Half an hour in the sun. What do you do in the winter? Take a lot of supplements. Or get yourself a sun lamp. A good sun lamp, which I have one here. There's only like 2 or 3 manufacturers of the ones that actually add vitamin D to your skin. The risk is obviously sunburn with those sun lamps, but they do. The skin creates the vitamin D. I don't know how. Cliff explained it to me once. I was like, when I talk to Cliff, my mind spins. So I didn't quite understand. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you like this, and like and subscribe and all that. And there's a free subscription at roadtoruler.com on the top left. Put your name and email address in, because a lot of my friends are getting kicked off. That's what I keep forgetting to talk about. My buddy Jean-Claude. Jean-Claude got booted off of YouTube for no good reason, although he talked about everything that they don't like to hear. But they didn't give him any warning. He has a new YouTube channel now. It's Beyond Mystic. It's Jean-Claude at Beyond Mystic 2. Do a search on YouTube, you'll find it. He started posting interviews again. Love that guy, and his content was amazing. He might have screwed up and not saved some of his stuff, even his Patreon stuff. We can all support him by going to his new channel on YouTube, Beyond Mystic 2, Jean-Claude, Beyond Mystic 2. Like and subscribe his videos, and then go to his Patreon. He's posting the new discussions up there. Join his Patreon, because we don't want YouTube to win this battle. We don't want Google to win this battle. We don't want Twitter to win this battle. We don't want their deep state controllers to win this battle. Jenny Moonstone and I were talking about the end game, and she says, literally, it goes down to the last second for the United States of America, and we pull a rabbit out of the hat at the very end. It could come down to January 19th at midnight. I don't know. But it feels like we're at the last second to save our country. But that's what she had told me that 2 months ago. But ultimately, Trump and the good guys do win. And I believe that. I believed that all along. So we'll find out, right? All right. So again, Jean-Claude, Patreon, #1, #2. He has a new YouTube channel, Jean-Claude at Beyond Mystic 2. Wonderful man. And he speaks Francais. All right. Let's see. Michael Lideker, Bix, what's going to happen to comics after this month? Shouldn't it show its true colors to the public? I don't know. People don't even understand what silver is or pricing of silver. Most people don't understand that there is no silver market on the planet. No physical silver market on the planet. There's just the COMEX, which is futures and options. That's all we have to price silver. So, if the COMEX goes down, you have the destruction of the banking system. If they don't, they're going to keep the banking system going. That's where we are. So we'll see. Nobody knows, because this has never happened before. It should have happened in 1913. They should have never gone to the Federal Reserve system. The reason Woodrow Wilson did it was all that damn gold they found in the Grand Canyon. Billions and billions of ounces, as I've researched a million times. Everybody says, I wonder why. I talked to G. Gordon, what is his name? Griffin. The creature from Jekyll Island guy. Awesome guy. He got everything right in that book except the true reason of why Woodrow Wilson caved. He caved because of the Grand Canyon gold would have destroyed the whole economic system. Back then, we were on a gold system. It's like introducing $40 quadrillion into our system today. It would destroy the US dollar, and then governments would be blown up and all these problems. So they decided to kick the can from 1913 till they're still kicking it. They're running out of room to kick that can. See that road behind me? I see the end of that road. And we'll find out. But hang on tight. One thing we are assured is that it will never go back to the way it was. Ever, 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 ever. All right. Hey, Amy C. Weir is in the chat room. Say hi to Amy. Yeah, we just got off, what was it? I don't know how many hours we drove. We're all driving through Sedona, an amazing area. Amazing stuff. And then through the desert and Mojave Desert. She did 99% of the driving this time, and it scares the crap out of me. I just keep my head down and work. I try to. She got a new car. It goes way too fast. So there you go. All right. Kevin here says, compute has made edge nodes make more than Guardian. Well, edge nodes make more than the minimum Guardian node. I think it's 2 of the 10,000, so 20, well, now it's 20 times. 20,000, a 20,000 Theta Guardian node makes about the same as the edge node. So definitely, you definitely should be running edge node if you're looking to make some Theta fuel. Amy just put her Rain Man quote, he knows I'm an excellent driver. Oh, I'm in the shit when I'm out of this thing. Okay. War Doc says, what are your thoughts on proof of stake and proof of work? It depends. Proof of stake works well for a business type application. Proof of work is necessary, I believe, if you want to consider cryptocurrency, something that will be used as money. That's my take. But proof of stake obviously is faster and a little less secure if not done properly. Now, the Theta blockchain is proof of stake, but they have a very unique way of doing it with the validator nodes. There's 13 validator nodes, and then the Guardian nodes to protect against the validator nodes, Turing complete, all the things that Hedra Hashgraph was trying to do, couldn't be able to do. These guys are brilliant. The guys at Theta are brilliant. So, yeah. But as far as use of as a currency, I would say proof of work all the way. That's my take. Yeah, Edward Griffin. Edward Griffin. Edward G. Griffin. Amazing guy. I've listened to interviews. I've read his audiobook of... I tried to read the whole book, Creature from Jekyll Island, but it's so much. I read most of it, but I listened to it on tape a couple times. Great book. And he's absolutely right. An amazing research, except for one thing. And I think it's the most important thing, is that the reason that Woodrow Wilson had to sign the Federal Reserve Act was the fact that they found billions and billions and billions of ounces of gold in the Grand Canyon. And they could not release that to the public. So what did he do? He stopped all mining in the Grand Canyon. He turned it into a national park. And I think he still kicks himself for allowing the banksters to take over in 1913, because we're still having to deal with that bullshit. It was only a 10-year charter, and then it got renewed and then perpetually renewed for 99 years. And just everybody wants to kick the can down because of the turmoil it would cause. Me, myself, I don't think our kids and our grandkids should have to deal with the bullshit that our grandparents created. So that's where I am. All right. Let's see. You got any questions? Yell them out. There's like 1 million different people in the chat room. Joel L., why didn't he just lock up the gold and not have a Federal Reserve? There's no connection there. That was possible, except all the bankers, it was the bankers who were mining the gold. It was financed out of New York, Chicago, and Denver. and some of the biggest banksters were behind it. So I think it was more of a concession. He could have locked up the gold, but then the bankers would have said, "Hey, they're locking up gold. Look, look, look," and then sued him and all that. So it was kind of a concession, I would assume. We don't know because that's one of the biggest secrets on the planet and has been since they found the gold in 1909, 1908, around that time frame. They definitely started mining it in 1908 and 1909. I've been to the Grand Canyon. It's at Lee's Ferry, one of the places they were strip mining a mountain. The whole side of the mountain is just ripped apart. It's an amazing place. And the rotting, rusting old metal part of the steamship. It was a wooden steamship that they brought in there from San Francisco. Mind you, the Grand Canyon is one of the most inaccessible places on the planet. Those of you who have tried to hike down like Bright Angel Trail or anything like that, those are the easy ways to get down. It's a mile down. The temperature's 20 degrees difference between the top and the bottom. It's insane. And now it's mostly off limits to anybody. So that's part of what happened. And obviously it was a mistake. I think if you looked back, Woodrow Wilson said, "Damn, I shouldn't have done that." But once you do it, and in the beginning, if you remember, the Federal Reserve, the income tax started right around there, and it was only like a penny. Income tax was a penny, and all it did is grow and grow and grow and grow. That's another part of the problem. So many problems on our financial system. Another reason why a total destruction of the system is necessary. There's no smooth landing. There's no NESRA. There's no JESRA. It doesn't get rid of the problem. All it does is reconfigures everything. The virtual, whatever the new one's called, that implements XRP as the Swift system. Come on, dudes. Anyway, I guess we'll find out. We're running out of time, right? So I'm right or they're right, and we'll find out in the next couple months. If Trump doesn't win and Joe Biden takes over and everything's fine and there's no problems, then everybody else is right. If the good guys win, the system gets destroyed, and we start fresh, then I guess I'm right. So we only have a couple months for that to be decided, hopefully. All right. Stephanie Nolan, hold Very or sell for Theta. Very tokens are really inexpensive. They're like lottery tickets. I see them as lottery tickets. And you should definitely have Theta. Theta is the guarantee, and Veritasium, 98 million tokens are locked up with the SEC and Reggie Middleton right now. Reggie says he doesn't have access to them, and the SEC has not said what they're going to do with them. They have confiscated Ethereum and Bitcoin from Reggie. I think the trustee that's supposed to be allocating it to ICO, people who bought into the ICO, hasn't done anything yet. So it's really a bizarre case of being in limbo. I think there are people behind the scenes saying, hey, when the COMEX shuts down, instead of shutting down the COMEX, let's turn it into a fair market where we have peer-to-peer transactions like Reggie was going to do with the Jamaican Stock Exchange. If that is true, then Veritasium instantly shoots up to Cliff High's predictions surpassing Bitcoin. If not, which is the most likely thing, then Veritasium, Reggie's still trying to do other deals in other places and it'll stay low. So that's my take. I don't know. Obviously, if Veritasium comes back to life as a key part of our new system, you want as much Veritasium as possible. But then again, you want as much Theta as possible. So I would say Theta. But hold a little Very just in case the lottery comes true. All right, let's see where we are. Nick M says, why has no one just completely dried up the silver market? Even with Sprott, it still gets smashed. There seems to be unending supply. Well, yes and no. remember, the silver market supply, the physical side, has nothing to do with the price. They sell over 100 billion ounces of silver every year on the criminal COMEX, the futures and options. So it has nothing to do with the price. Now, the physical market's a different thing. Sprott has tried to buy 20, 30 million ounces at a time. It takes months and months for him to get the silver. So it is not a liquid market. It's hard to get. Now, how did JP Morgan do it? Over 10 years, they got over 1 billion ounces. Crime, theft. They were a authorized participant from the U.S. Mint. So back when the Silver Eagle program was going crazy, that was JP Morgan for the most part, buying up Silver Eagles, melting them down into 1,000-ounce bars. Ted Butler, brilliant research to find that one. I was wondering why they removed JP Morgan from the, their name was on the authorized participant list of the U.S. Mint, and then all of a sudden they scuttled that list, and nobody knew anything about it. They're all working hand in hand. The criminal cabal, the Trump administration. Steve Mnuchin was the head computer rigger at Goldman Sachs. So yeah, why doesn't it happen? It's because it's controlled on the COMEX. It's all about COMEX. And oh, by the way, don't try to do anything sly or you get slapped down, such as the Hunt brothers and Warren Buffett. Both of them got slapped down. Hunt brothers got destroyed. Buffett made a deal. His deal was, I'll give you the 130 million physical ounces that I have if you take me out of the investigation of his criminal dealings in the General reinsurance company. So that deal was struck, and voila, it was announced that Buffett had sold his silver. And he actually gave it to SLV to start the SLV. So there are a lot of signs that there's not a lot of silver. The other huge sign for me that there's no secret silver out there was the shutdown of the Y12 facility at the Manhattan Project, which held potentially up to 3 billion ounces, according to the General Greaves, who ran that project for the U.S. They needed silver to make the calutrons, to purify the uranium, to make the first atomic bomb. And so they took it from the U.S. Treasury, and they at first it didn't work. And that was about 300 million ounces of physical silver. And then they built the B facility with the rest, 2.5, I think 2.4 million ounces, 2.4 billion ounces out of the West Point. Those were actually backing silver certificates. It gets complicated, but I've proven it at Road to Ruta. There's like 10 articles on it. You can see the export data out of the U.S. during the 90s. Huge amounts of silver was exported. Everyone's like, wait a minute, the mines didn't mine any extra silver. Where's this silver coming from? It came from the Manhattan Project. So there you go. All right, let's see where we go. What do you guys want to talk about? We've talked about silver. We've talked about gold. We've talked about Theta. Steve says, I'm watching Bix and Dr. Phil at the same time. Let's talk about spirituality. I wrote, first time in, oh, Jesus, I don't know how long, a while, I wrote a Conversations with God piece. Again, if you don't know, I have 4 books called Conversations with God about gold and silver, written in the same methodology as Donald Walsh's book, where I ask God questions and he gives me answers. I wrote a new one this weekend, and it's really, I think it's cool. It just sprung out, and Amy's gonna do some editing. I can't spell when I'm in that mode, but it's not automatic writing, but it's kind of like it. And it was about spirituality and the importance of it, and why some people are gifted from birth, and it's easy to be a psychic, and some people want to be a psychic but really can't tap into that stuff. It's really cool. So I'll be posting that for the private road probably today. If not today, then tomorrow. And little special gift for private road members who literally keep the lights on the Road to Root. I want to thank all you guys, and anybody wanting to get Theta, join the Road to Root, a private road. It's real easy. Go to roadtoruta.com, and it costs $2.99 for a year, less than $1 a day. And I send you 25 Theta fuel already loaded. And if you believe Michelle White Dove, that's $25,000 at some point in the future. Anyway, it does help support the cause and continue the research that I'm doing. I hope you guys like it. And oh, am I going out on Acapulco? I don't think so. I don't think it's in the cards this year, which is a bummer. I heard some people are going, but it's clearly not as organized as it is as it has been in the past. Not that it was organized anyway, but I love Jeff and what he's done. He's taught me a ton about living our lives without government, and I think everybody should follow Jeff Berwick in his quest to remove governments from our lives. Clearly, in the United States, it's never been so bad. Maybe it has, we just didn't know it, but now we know it. And I think our goal in the U.S. should be to kick out the government. That's my take. Anyway, I want to thank you guys. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruhr.com. Go to roadtoruhr.com, like and subscribe to this video, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.